Today I wanted to share one little secret tip that I got with my irons when I was younger that really helped me get more consistent strike and straighter start lines with my irons. So what is that? So when I was around about 16 years old, I started this thing called swing left. Now this was a big trend going around probably 8-9 years ago now. I can remember actively doing it when I was around about 17-18 years old. Now swing left, the purpose of this was that the club obviously goes left when it's going the other side of the ball. Now the whole thing was like exit left, moving left, but naturally this club on the arc will come inside to the right and then it's gonna go left as you exit the golf ball. But one thing that I kind of took into my game, and I learned a lot from this, was the club face stability side. So kind of in the woods and the top end of my bag, I feel as though I do get more of a release pattern. The club face is more in kind of this position here, and then as it gets down to impact, it starts to release and open, well, get back to square, and then it will start to close and move past the golf ball, rotating with just a natural arc. But to me, that's just a natural release. Now, in my irons, I find myself feeling a little bit more of a shut face here at kind of P6, and then into P7 at impact, I still feel that square, and then after P8, I'm kind of feeling not as much of a release. It's more held off, and I still take that into my bottom irons today. And I found that's definitely kind of where I get that neutral ball flight, especially in the bottom end of my clubs, and stuff like wedge shots and 8-9 iron, you can kind of hit them shots with that stable face. As it starts to move up the bag and you hit like a 5 iron, you kind of have to release it because the loft is so low on the club. But with something like a 9 iron, I can actually feel like, you know, you get a good amount of shaft lean here, and then I'm kind of keeping that club a little bit closed on the way back, closed, and then I'm feeling more of like a held off position through impact, and this should just result in a straighter ball flight. So let's just hit a couple, hands forward, and I'm just going to hold that angle on the face through the ball. So 452 side spin, hardly anything, 1.5 yards left of target. A really neutral golf shot, just a baby draw, which is my shot tendency. Now, if I'm to go ahead and kind of feel like I release one more, ball flight's probably going to kick up, so that vertical launch probably go a little bit higher. And we start to see like a 700 side spin there, 21 degree of launch. So it's a higher ball flight because I'm releasing the club face more, which is, look, you know, I don't think there's a problem with releasing it, but I do believe that this shot where you're kind of holding the face, definitely for something like a, you know, I'll knock 10 yards off of this, I'll go 140 and I'll just hold the face. You know, slightly stronger ball flight, back down to 18 vertical launch, but it's a lot straighter, 232 side spin, so it's not moving a muscle, which is just a really awesome shot to have in the locker. So a really good way to kind of drill this is put your towel on the floor, get it crumbled up into a little ball, and then I'm going to square the face off with my towel. Now, this hold off one is kind of just a different takeaway entirely. So my club face is kind of looking a bit more on the shut side here, whereas a normal kind of iron shot would be more here. Club face, you know, toe actively pointing up. You kind of see that hold off one here. That left wrist for me just feels a little bit more bowed. So as I go to the top, it's kind of in this position, but then from there, I'm just holding that angle off. You know, I haven't got to do a hell of a lot. And as I say, be super careful with this because it works in the bottom end, which I learned, but as you move up the bag, doesn't really work. You cannot do this with driver. Like you literally can't. I tried it for years, and you cannot do it. So what I've kind of learned is that you've got to separate the two swings. You've got to swing for your long irons and your woods, which is kind of that release motion, kicking up the ball flight. You have to, because the lofts are lower. And then with the bottom end, you can have that one where you hold that face and it just comes out super neutral. And like I say, it's a really, really good shot to have in your locker. So that's been a little secret tip for all you guys at home. I hope that one helps you. And if you did learn something new in that video and that might help you going to the driving range, please drop the video a like. It really, really helps me out. And what would help me out even more is if you press subscribe. That would really, really help me out. It's completely free, but it just really helps my channel. So I appreciate all the support. It means the absolute world to me. We'll see you all for the next one.